Alright, so what is up? RedPandaMining here. How you guys all doing? I hope you all doing really well and having a really great day. In this video, I want to show you guys my 1 month profits for my iBeLink BM-K1. And we're going to go through and see, generally how much I've been making every day on it. And yeah, we're going to go through all that. And I also want to talk about the risks of buying ASICs near the later half of this video. Okay, so I want to start with, guys, I do have a playlist of ASICs that I have been, testing out for the past, I would say, half year or so now. And, these videos of me playing around with ASICs would not be possible without CryptoMinerBros.com. They're the ones who've been sending me ASICs for review, essentially. And you guys know I've been doing profitability videos for these and just seeing how, if they are actually profitable or not, and if you can essentially get your return on initial investment or break even on them, and also just figuring out if first batch buyers can generally get their money back first. And you guys know I've had the Z15, I've had the Inosilicon A10 Pro, the 5GB version, and I was able to break even on those within about 3 or 4 months. So pretty good, but there are a lot of risks associated to that, and I want to go through that later on in this video. So let's go first into how much my iBeLink has mined in the past month or so. And actually I'm a few days late, but I had it off for about 2 or 3 days because my crypto mining basement, you guys know I'm waiting on getting the new electrical circuit in there, 200 amps, but I was able to turn it back on in the mining barn. So yeah, it's about a couple days later. It's essentially about exactly a month, 30 days on mining on this now. So I've mined about 5,139 Cadena coins. All right, so now I want to go to CoinGecko, and we are going to go to let's go to KDA here. I love using CoinGecko because we can just easily put the number in here, and there you go. So we've mined in about a month exactly $727 USD worth of KDA. Okay, so actually if I get my calculator up here, and if we just do 727 divided by 30 days, just for example, so averaging as of right now, looks like KDA did go up a little bit as of making this video. Yeah, not like a cent or something, but actually if we do 30-day graph here, you can see generally the past 30 days KDA has actually been on a downtrend. So imagine if I was actually mining into Bitcoin, though I would have to sell every day. I just don't have time for that. I probably would have more in Bitcoin value than holding on to the KDA. Okay, so that's one thing. But generally right now, you guys can see I have about $24 a day averaging. But let's do another calculation here. 5,139 divided by 30 days. So generally, yeah, I've been averaging about 171 KDA a day, and I've been using icemining.ca here with my iBeLink BM-K1, and it's been pretty good. It's been mining, yeah, you guys know, 5.3 terahash, it says averaging there, and it does about 850 watts at the wall. So yeah, there you go. I am about $727 now if I sold right now, but you guys know I want to hodl all of the KDA that I'm mining to see if I can potentially break even faster. But looks like at this moment it hasn't been good because yeah, KDA has been in a downtrend here, but who knows, maybe in the next couple months, maybe less than 2 months or something, that KDA could just go parabolic in price, and then I can essentially break even on it within on this $3,749. All right, so this is a test that I've been trying to do. You guys know I've been doing these tests on the Z15, which I did on NiceHash, and then I had the Ethereum ASIC, the Inosilicon A10 Pro 5GB, which I was able to break even on that within about 4 months due to obviously the crypto market going up. Okay, I want to talk about the risks of ASICs here in a second here. And so now I have this iBeLink BM-K1, and this is definitely a really speculative ASIC miner, which I wholeheartedly don't condone buying this because it's very risky. KDA, it's not a very established coin. Liquidity, volume, all that kind of stuff, it's just not there. I'm gonna definitely foresee myself once I have I don't know how many KDA I'll have in a couple months, maybe 15,000, 20,000 KDA after 3 or 4 months, and we'll see if it goes up in price, if I'll be able to liquidate that amount of KDA in order to into Bitcoin, essentially, right? So that we can essentially break even on this. All right. So this is a fun little test that I want to see. And so now I guess, okay, so that's enough about the iBeLink BM-K1. It's a little test here I'm doing. So I'll keep you guys updated on the second month. So now I want to talk about the risks of ASIC mining. And this is definitely a conversation, and it really depends on a lot of different factors, but mainly, in my opinion, to start off first, ASIC mining, in my opinion, is great for people that have really low electrical power costs. Okay, if you have residential, and depending on what ASIC it is, it may not make sense. And also, there's a lot of other factors to it as well. Cryptocurrency pricing, network difficulties, network hash rate, equilibrium, all that stuff. As you know, you have to realize how many people potentially may be buying those ASICs, and it could just flood the network, and the difficulty is just going to go up, and then your profitability is going to go down. That is due to also the comparison of how much the price of the coin, right? So example, yeah, I'm mining KDA, but how much longer is this price of KDA gonna stay, right? And like I said, I'm doing this test to mining into KDA. I'm not mining into Bitcoin. I'm not trading into Bitcoin. I'm just gonna mine all the KDA I can, and I want to see when I can essentially break even on it. And if KDA decides to go even lower and lower and lower, well, then my break even is gonna take longer and longer. So, but if there is some outlier time or position of where KDA is going to go up in price in some point in time, then I'll be lucky, right? But that is definitely a big risk that I'm playing here, and I just want to see if that would play out or not. And yeah, that's why I'm doing this test. But yeah, but just comparing to other ASICs out there that have come out in the past, and you guys can see there are 100 different ASICs here, and I'm at like 10 cents kilowatt hour. So there are definitely a few different ASICs here that are essentially still profitable to this day. But generally, you can see there's a lot of new ones that have come out recently. The A10 Pro, the A10 Pro 7 gigabyte, 750 mega hash, which actually I will be having one potentially really soon from Crypto Miner Bros. They're going to be sending me one, and I'm essentially getting the first batch, and I'm going to see how long it'll take to return on initial investment or break even, whatever term you guys want to use, on $12,399. Okay, or 0.35 Bitcoin at the time. And I'm gonna do a straw poll vote when I do that video, and I want to see if you guys want me to mine into Ethereum or mine into Bitcoin, like have it on NiceHash or something. So stay tuned for that video. That'll be really fun. But guys, also, with pre-ordering ASICs, okay, it's definitely something I want to talk about now. Okay, pre-ordering ASICs, and there's this one comment that I had on my last InnoSilicon A10 Pro video. There's a subscriber here that mentioned, okay, he says here, if you pre-order, you're increasing your risk massively. If you pay with crypto, you're doing it wrong, as you are unlikely to ever ROI based on the math that as difficulty always goes up. If you did both, then you're probably in the rest of the home users that have gotten ripped off with ASICs and never achieved ROI, and now are left with 1 to 2 years later with a doorstop. People do ASIC reviews, but they never really go into the risk, and they never address the elephant in the room, which is paid for my ASIC with 20 ETH, and now it's only mining 5 ETH a year. Okay, so I'm assuming this guy might be talking about his maybe InnoSilicon A10 Pro 4 gigabyte or the E3. I'm actually not really sure, but yeah, I'm not sure which one he's talking about here, where he's making only 5 ETH a year. My A10 Pro 5 gigabyte that I had last year made about, I think, yeah, 5 Ethereum, almost 5 Ethereum within 4 months. Okay, that was between August. But we all know DeFi, transaction fees, gas fees were insanely high during that time. And again, that's another factor, okay? Another factor on whether or not, also correlating with the price of Ethereum, which is obviously really nice now. And that means mining profitability is nice now. Okay, for now. We're not sure how long that's going to last, all right? So that is another risk. That is a gamble that you have to realize, because buying ASICs, you guys know, it's a huge gamble, and I definitely always condone buying GPUs rather than ASICs, because with GPUs you are lowering your risk tolerance there, and you're able to essentially have the ability to sell your GPUs at pretty much the same cost that you bought it for, as we've seen the last couple of years. Well, actually, maybe during the bear markets, GPUs were really cheap, but there's always times where you can sell the GPUs for really high cost. But that's not to say that with ASICs you can't do that as well. I've actually been seeing the L3 Plus and the S9 go back up in price on eBay. So that is actually something. Yeah, the S9 looks like it's, maybe depending on your electrical cost, of course, it's still profitable. But the L3 Plus at 10 cents is not profitable for a home user. So if we did, like, I don't know, 6 cents USD, for example, and let's go L3. Yeah, the L3 Plus is still profitable at 6 cents. So depending, like I said in the very beginning of talking about the risks, is your cost per kilowatt hour. Okay, so if you had really cheap electrical rate, which, you know, a lot of commercial mining warehouse people do, then ASIC mining makes sense for them, because you can see here there's a plethora amount of ASICs here that are profitable at their electric rate. Okay, so even at like 4 cents kilowatt hour, which a lot of, you know, businesses do, you guys can see here an S9 at right now, as I'm making this video, is still profitable at like $2 a day. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense for those people that have really cheap electrical. But if you have residential, you are taking definitely a huge risk, because you are essentially you're going to be paying more out of pocket for your electricity bill, or maybe you can't do that, or then you have to sell your crypto that you just mined, essentially, and even breaking even on it on your electrical bill. So that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense for you. That's why ASICs can be definitely risky. And also, yeah, like I said, it's really imperative that depending on the timing of when you're mining, and especially if you are the first batch, as we've seen, as I've tested, okay, is that first batch people seem to get their break even point a lot faster. Obviously, first batch difficulty is a little bit lower. As time goes on, there's a second batch, and then the difficulty is even higher, and then the price of the coin is still kind of stagnant or staying average. Okay, that's another factor. And then, yeah, it's just not profitable for the second batch or third batch or even fourth batch people. But like I said, it just depends. There's a lot of different factors at play here, and you just have to understand your risk about buying ASICs. And another thing with pre-ordering, okay, I totally forgot to talk about the pre-order part, is, for example, if you're going to buy an ASIC on Crypto Miner Bros, for example, okay, they even say on their website here, all payments are made in cryptocurrency are directly exchanged in US dollars with us. If for any reason a refund must be made, it will be made on the value in dollars at current price of cryptocurrency. If crypto price is high or low, we refund the money as a USD rate. Okay, so this is something you guys should really understand, because I've had a few emails and a few PMs and DMs from people who have pre-ordered ASICs, and specifically, actually, this A10 Pro, actually not the 7 GB but the 6 GB, and there's been some people that were able to get an upgrade and some people not able to get an upgrade. I'm not quite sure, but you can see here that know your risk, that when you're using crypto to pre-order something like a couple months before, and if crypto, Bitcoin or Ethereum decides to 5x or 10x or something, you guys can see it's been going up for the past month or so, you're essentially losing out, because the value that you put in, the amount of Bitcoin that you put in at the time, like a couple months before, you're going to be losing that value. And I guess essentially you could have gained more of the dollar value versus pre-ordering. Okay, so that's a risk that you're gonna take, and that's why this comment here, this guy said, which I wholeheartedly agree, is this: you're increasing your risk massively if you pay with crypto. Okay, so it says, yeah, you're doing it wrong if you're unlikely to ever ROI. Okay, so that is a awesome thing. That's a really great perspective for some people that are wanting to just pre-order with crypto, because in the end you're gonna lose out and you're taking a massive risk. And there's always ASIC companies out there that do shady things. Okay, not the resellers. It's not the resellers' fault. It's the ASIC companies. All right, Silicon, in my opinion, recently definitely did something shady with the 6 GB ASIC miners, essentially trying to get more money to people to upgrade to the 7 GB. So I think that was kind of shady on their end. And honestly, they should have just, I don't know. And obviously people had to get a refund, and of course they got a refund at a higher price of Bitcoin, but they got less of their Bitcoin if they paid in crypto. Okay, so understand that, guys. All right, this is seriously, just don't do it. Like I said in other previous videos, pre-ordering ASICs is not a great idea, and I don't condone anyone to do it. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I quickly skimmed over the the profits for the iBeLink, and yeah, I'll see you guys in like the next 2 months profitability for the iBeLink. But yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts on ASIC mining, and as well as the iBeLink that I just talked about, and the risks that I just talked about in this video. There's so many factors in buying ASICs and mining with ASICs that cryptocurrency could go down in the next day, in the next couple months or so. And the ASIC that you just bought now for 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, your break-even point is essentially longer. Okay. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one, and peace out.